Hello everyone, this is Shane R. Monroe, and today we're going to look at Control from Remedy Software as an example of ray tracing. Now, I know a lot of us have video cards that'll do ray tracing, and RTX is a big selling point, but you know, a lot of times when I see RTX or examples of RTX, I'm not sure I'm actually seeing what I should be seeing or what the sales pitch is with RTX or ray tracing. So Control really shows off this in a great light. So I've got ray tracing set to medium here, and we're just going to go to the opening scene and look around. So check it out. So right now with ray tracing on, let's look around the room here. Take a look at the floor. It's a very reflective surface, and we are seeing lighting sources. We're seeing colors bouncing off of walls. Like upstairs there, we're seeing the brown of the wall up there. There's multiple lighting sources. There's lighting sources upstairs. Check out the way that the flag is mixing with the colors of the floor, right? So let's take a look from back here so we can get sort of a full overview. Look how natural that whole thing looks with all of the reflections. I mean, somebody looks like they just went through here and polished the floor to a high glossy sheen, and we're seeing all of the sources around shining off of them, not just as primitive type reflections, but also with shadow and color and diffusion. So take a look at this photo or painting here. It's obviously got a glass cover on it, and look at how it's bouncing the flag off of it. Check out all the lighting sources behind the flag that are being reflected here inside this painting, including myself. Take a look. Those are the red lights from the security station back there. There's the flag. It's amazing just how great it all looks, and we've almost come to take for granted that that's what that's supposed to look like. Look at the floor here. Look at that green light that's bouncing off from up there. That's even in another room, essentially, and we're still getting that light. So let's go ahead and shut it off. So now you've seen what it's supposed to look like. Let's see if you'll ever be able to live without it now. So let's go ahead and shut that ray tracing off now completely. All right, and then we're going to take another look. Okay, so take a look back there. The brown from up above is almost completely gone. The flag has sort of a basic shadow. All of the light sources that were contributing to that reflection, not all of them are there now. Some of them are kind of not there at all. Having a little performance stuttering here with my capture, I apologize. But take a look. There are still reflections, as you would hope to see. Most of this has to do with the capture, folks, and I apologize for the stuttering. But if we go up to the picture here, what we have is a basic light source bouncing off of that thing. Look at that. There's no reflections. It's just saying, hey, we know there's a light behind here, so we need to kind of show that off. The flag reflections, not much there. That green light's pretty much gone. There's really nothing to see there. Unfortunate. Capture's totally wigging out. So let's go ahead and put the ray tracing back on so that you can take another look at it. And this time we're going to go ahead and flip it up to high. Perfect. And take a look now. Everything just gets a little more real. Look at the way that the lighting is playing off of everything, the reflections of the light. So it's not just reflections or lighting, it's a combination of the reflections. You can see that the brown is back, the way that it bounces. Check out the exit signs and the way that all of the lighting sources are playing with the floor right now. It's simply amazing that we can have that level of detail. And of course, none of this really means anything to the game, right? If you don't have great looking light diffused reflections down there, it doesn't affect your enjoyment of the game necessarily. But I mean, look at that. Our flag is back. All of our lighting sources are back. It looks great. I don't know if it looks any better than medium here, but look at that. I mean, that blows me away that you don't really pay attention to it unless you're looking. Now, while we're looking at that, let's turn it back off so you can really get a jarring effect of what we just lost. Just like half the photo disappears, right? It's nutty. Nothing there. Just that basic, hey, there's a light behind there somewhere, so we have to give the illusion of reflection of some sort. So let's put it back on. This time, let's go back to medium, though, because we had it on high this time. So let's take a look on medium. We had it on high last time. I don't know if we're seeing a ton difference here, but either way, it looks really, really good. Yeah, look at that. Everything's back. Our green light bouncing off the wall on the floor there is still back. It's awesome. It's good stuff. So let's move to a different scene here. Let's go in this room here and take a look at the television in the upper right as we walk by. You'll see there's reflections happening off of that. You'll see there's reflections happening off the window in front of us. And take a look at, so you can see the TV there now in the upper left. There's reflections coming off of that. There are reflections on the computer terminal screens. And there are reflections down below where the cigarette pack is. If we turn this back off, you'll see a dramatic change in terms of what we're seeing. Take a look. The reflection off the TV is gone. We lost the reflection off the window in front of us. We lost the reflections off the security monitors. Well, there's maybe a little bit there, but it's really difficult to see. The cigarette pack and the lights, the lighting from the CRTs onto the desk are not gone, but they're drastically reduced. Let's go back to high. There we go. Now look at that. All of the lighting that you're seeing on those CRT screens, the text is now readable from those CRT screens bouncing off of the desk. And we'll turn it off one more time just for a little bit of contrast here. Yeah, you lose a lot. You don't, it doesn't seem like you do, but you do. So let's go to a whole nother scene completely and take a look. There's not as, I mean, obviously there's carpet up here, so you're not going to see those reflections, but you can still see the results of ray tracing even if there's not mirrors and glass and high polished floors. But here's another example. Take a look at the floor here.
All these years I've been looking
you
for
do
them,
see
and they
colors
were
and you do
hiding
see
in
reflections.
plain
We are
sight.
seeing something from the other rooms. Now let's flip that ray tracing back on so we can see the differential here. And we're going to go back to high. Wow. It's more detail in there. And take a look. It almost looks like there's a shimmering effect on the light. And that could be from this heating vent up here. I don't know if that's actually true, but I'd like to think that's the case. But there's a shimmering effect. And look, back there, there's a lighting source that's bouncing off of the banister behind us. If you take a look at the glass window or the office glass there, look, up in the upper right, you can see the white banister from behind us reflecting in that window. Nutty. And see, that's the light right there. It's bouncing off of that banister onto the window here. Yeah, is your gameplay going to be crushed if you don't see that? Probably not. But look, just look how good it is. Look how great that, look at the lighting. Even the light diffuses against other things. It's awesome. So let's take and turn this back off. If this scene right here, where we have all sorts of sort of different lights going on, let's turn it off here. Look at that. Like, lights just disappeared completely. That's crazy. So those two great light beams that we were seeing from that other room are gone. Once again, let me flip it back on so you can see those show up one more time. Boom. I mean, that's not just a little bit better of something. That's something missing. That's something different. Well, listen, I think we've made the point here. We won't belabor the obvious. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at ray tracing on Control. Please like, subscribe, hit the little bell. You guys know what to do. And I do appreciate watching my videos. Thanks so much and take care.